Our partners fund the exploration, so they fund the drilling programs. We've now got to this phase that we are fully financed. We have all these things coming down the pipeline with more drilling and everything, so you're not waiting for projects for a drill permit.
Welcome back to the Market Frontlines. I'm Lindsay Melchick with Appeton Media, coming to you from the Vancouver mining event right here at Global in the heart of downtown Vancouver. Now, there is a certain energy in this room when capital meets discovery, and right now, one company is stepping into a phase where momentum is starting to stack in a very meaningful way. I'm joined by Elisa Patterson, Vice President of Investor Relations at Latin Metals. Latin Metals has built a portfolio across South America with a very, very deliberate strategy. Instead of taking on the full cost burden of exploration, the company brings in partners to fund drilling and advancement, giving shareholders exposure to discovery while maintaining discipline at the corporate level. With multiple catalysts lining up across gold and copper projects in Argentina, this story right now is about timing, scale, and execution. It is so great to sit with you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I'm going to kick this off right now about your model. Your model that your company has built is partner-funded exploration. What does that matter, or how does that matter right now for investors?
Well, if you see our cap table currently, that's probably what our cap table is going to be like, because our partners fund the exploration. So they fund the drilling program. So typical mining companies will raise about 10, 20 million. We have raised on average every few years about 1.3, 1.4 million. Mm-hmm. We've now got to this phase that we are fully financed. Wow. We will run lean on about 3 million a year. Okay. That's our burn, and that's with exploration and everything, and G&A, everything included.
Oh my gosh.
And so basically, and we'll also have about an 18,000 meter drill program done by our partners this year. So we're expected to also end the year around 2 million Canadian.
Okay.
So it's as a prospect generator, it's our partners fund the drilling. We get the upside of the data, and assays are pending on one of our programs. And so it's really nice to be in this spot as a prospect generator.
Yeah, it's very different. So why don't we just halt there for a second? Tell us a little bit about Latin Metals. Where's your projects? Tell us all of the goods.
Well, Latin Metals has been around since about 2019. And I have to say it was the foundation phase, the building phase, getting everything organized to get to this point. We have about 16 different projects in Peru and Argentina. Okay. So as a potential shareholder or a shareholder, you have multiple shots on goal for discovery. Okay. And having the know-how and experience of majors and other companies, mining companies, come in and fund the drilling. So either we get a drill permit on our project and a company can come in and drill right away, like Daura Gold did with Cerro Bio.
Ah, yeah.
And so they did around 3,000 meters. Mm-hmm. And this project is in Argentina. And they did about 3,000 meters, and we're currently waiting on assays with that project. Another one of our projects is waiting for a drill permit in Argentina with Moxico Resources. Mm-hmm. And that'd be a 15,000 meter drill program. So there's a lot of different catalysts coming up for us. And we have about 500 hectares of sediment-hosted copper that we're looking for a partner currently, which is a typical, usually deals done in sediment-hosted with this scale, is about 35 million in partner-funded exploration that comes to Latin Metals that's non-dilutive to the company.
That's great to hear.
So currently, right now, Latin Metals is about 80 million in partnered funded exploration under contract.
Okay.
By the end of the year, we should be 150 to 180 million in partner funded exploration under contract.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah.
Let's talk about permitting, because there's still a lot that in jurisdictions like this, in every jurisdiction, it seems to just be shifting and changing. So tell us about the permitting there.
Well, in Peru, it's something really great. They have a fast track approval process.
Amazing.
So it's usually about 4 to 6 months is a typical timeline for permitting.
Wow.
If it's in a jurisdiction and communities that are easier. And at Latin Metals, we kind of have a process that we would like to only deal with 2 communities. We do not, in our criteria when we have projects, we make sure that there's not a lot of overlay on the project, so there's not multiple people that we have to talk to, so there's a few communities, so it's easier to get an agreement. And what we try to do is before we even step foot on the ground, we get community agreements in place with the communities, so we have that buy-in before we even go for a drill permit.
That is so smart. So smart. So you're building that relationship already, which is vital. Oh my gosh. Most juniors are raising and diluting, and you mentioned you're not. So what's the trade-off then?
The trade-off is it's a little bit slower.
Okay.
It's not fast in the sense of we don't drill our own projects.
Okay.
So we have been waiting for partners to come in and fund the drilling. But this is the exciting part. If you were a shareholder back in like 2021, 2022, you'd be waiting. Now, if you're a shareholder, like now and going forward, we have all these things coming down the pipeline with more drilling and everything. So you're not waiting for projects for a drill permit. Currently, we have 3 projects with a drill permit, 2 pending partners. One is with Cerro Bay with Daura Gold, and another one was Moxico Resources. And Moxico will be waiting for a drill permit imminently, and they have to do 15,000 meters this year.
Fair enough.
In order for their option terms.
Okay.
So it's something that we've built into all our option with the partners is that they have to do drill meters every year in order to stay in as a partner.
Well, I love how it's all set up, and it's quite different than just the traditional way of doing things. So that's very innovative, the way that you guys have all set it up. Kudos to that. My gosh. We're going to flip over here, and we're going to, you've got multiple catalysts that you spoke about, and you're hitting them really all at once. And that's a full load rate there. So what does the momentum look like, we'll say, over the next, 6 to 12 months?
Well, something really exciting that I haven't even hit on is...
Tell me all
Yeah, you know what? Okay, so Latin Metals, we just spun out Latin Explore from Latin Metals. We had 2 projects in there, Para and Oak West. Para was an ex-Valet property, and we'll be drilling there in May.
Okay.
For that project. And so Latin Metals actually owns 6% of Latin Explore.
Wow.
So anything that's happening in Latin Explore, which is also a typical mining company. So we have potentially, if shareholders or people want to be exposure to South America, you have that traditional route of Latin Explore.
Okay.
But a little bit different with the prospect generator is more long-term growth. I like to say that we eventually will be turning into a royalty company. So we would organically generating royalties. But until then, we're a prospect generator. And, with the model, we can always get more and more projects and not spend more money.
Okay.
And the thing is, the catalyst, or have to say, is Cerro Bay with Daura Gold. The assays are in the next, I would say, end of April, at beginning of May. And then we have Moxico Resources, which has to do a 15,000 meter drill program. Latin Explore with Para and drilling, and 500,000 hectares of our sediment-hosted copper, and we should find a partner for that. And, we have 2 other drill permits that potentially will have partners announced and drilling this year. So I have to say we have 18,000 meters that will be drilled this year, but it could be more.
It could be more.
It could be more. Who knows?
Okay. What about with this model? Obviously, there's some hiccups that come along the way. Or what are they? I mean, what are the challenges that you face, and how do you navigate through them?
Okay, so I have to say one of the challenges is sometimes partners give back our projects.
Oh.
But in the upside, sometimes it's good because, Case in point, Barrick gave back Cerro Bio.
Okay.
And we actually did a better deal with Daura Gold because the price of gold was a lot higher. And we actually learned and put in drill commitment meters into the deal, and just instead of expenditure spent. And so, things like this that we have learned. And, also we have Anglo Gold gave back Orjanulo. And that was, they got a drill permit, and we announced that they're going to start drilling, and then they put their termination notice in 2 weeks later. But that deal was done in 2021 when gold was about $1,500. So the price of gold now, and also we have a drill permit associated with that project, we're going to find a way better deal for Latin metals than we had before. And also every time a project we come back, we get the data. We have everything that's with that project we keep.
It's almost like a turnkey.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, this has been a very insightful conversation. I know short and sort of very quick and high level, but there are some very good insights in there. So pay attention. Thank you so much for sitting with us, and come back soon.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Again, I've been speaking with Elisa Patterson, Vice President of Investor Relations at Latin Metals, Inc., trading on the venture under the ticker symbol LMS and on the OTCQB under LMSQF. From partner-funded drilling to a pipeline of catalysts that are starting to really align, this is a story that is shifting out of theory and into execution. From the floor of the Vancouver Mining Club, I'm Lindsay Melchick with Appeton. Stay sharp, stay curious, and stay tuned. There's more to come.